Hello and welcome to your Advanced Wednesday call. My name is Jared Krebs. I'm here in San Antonio. And before we bring on our special guest, I want to remind you of 10 things to expect when building your USANA business. Number one, there will be ups and downs, just like anything. Number two, success or failure is up to you. If you succeed, it's because of you. If you fail, it's because of you, not because the person who invited you to USANA, not because of USANA. Okay, it's you. You're the one who determines your success or failure. Number three, the goal is for you to become independent and be an independent leader for your team. Number four, make your plan on the weekends. Do it, review it, and make adjustments. Plan, do, review, and adjust. Number five, it's going to take time. It's going to take 1 year to become competent at the skills to do this. It's going to take 3 years to develop a significant part-time income. It's going to take 5 years to develop a significant full-time income and 7 years to become world-class. It can happen faster, but it's going to take time. Number six, it takes consistency. That is probably the biggest one, doing your DMO, doing your activities week in and week out on a consistent basis. Number seven, you're going to have to grow and get outside of your comfort zone. Number eight, mental toughness is necessary. Number nine, the grass is not greener in other companies. The grass is greener where you water it. And number 10, this is a long-term game. USANA is 27 years strong with over $2.5 billion paid to its associates. It's given me and my wife a full-time income for over a decade, as well as thousands of people around the world. And hundreds of thousands have made a part-time income with USANA because it works if you work. And bonus tip, amateurs sell products, but professionals sell the vision. Make sure you're sharing these videos with your clients. Help them see that USANA is not just a great product, but it's a great lifestyle. It's a great personal growth opportunity. It's a great business income opportunity. And few have done it as well. As brand new $1 Million Club member and brand new Diamond Director, Natalie Dion from Quebec, Canada. She is here today with us. Natalie, we are so honored to have you. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. I'm so honored to be here. And I love your 10 tips.
Oh, thanks.
Oh my gosh, there's nothing more to say.
Right? You know, that came from Eric Worre's GoPro book. That was the end of that book. And yeah, we open every webinar with that. Pretty much nails it on the head, right?
Yeah, exactly. And thank you, Jared,
Well,
for all the content and the value that you put on social media. I watch your videos. It's super inspiring. You're an amazing leader. And
oh, thank you. Well, I appreciate your kind words, and as are you, and we are excited to hear about your USANA journey today. We want to know what was your life like before USANA, what were some of the challenges, how did USANA help you and fill those challenges, and then when you started your business, there's a whole set of other challenges, and how did you overcome those to become a Diamond Director, a $1 Million Club member? And what's your life like today? I know you're about to fly off to Dubai tomorrow on a trip that you won. So, I mean, oh my gosh, what an awesome life you've created. So we want to hear your story for about 20 minutes, and then we'll open it up to questions.
okay, perfect. Love it. I always say, you know, the diamond part, it's like an iceberg. Eh? It's only the little tip that you see, but there's a lot under going on, a lot. And so I come from the corporate world. I was an assistant director at Costco, and I was unsatisfied. That's the best way I can simplify that. And I was working long hour. I did a burnout. I was on sick leave for about 3 months. And when I came back, I always say, like, I didn't see things the same way anymore. And I was looking for more. And I started asking myself really important questions. And when I started answering those questions, I'll give you an example. I was like, okay, where do I want to live? With who do I want to be? Where do I want to travel in the world? What are my core values? What impact do I want to leave in this world? And I was like, I've got the wrong vehicle. I'll never achieve all of that with this position I have here. So I started being really open, and I always say USANA found me because really that's the way it happens. I went in a health show and I started talking with someone, and they invited me. Can you believe it? That's years ago. they invited me to an event in Montreal where Dr. Wentz was speaking. I mean, he never came back after. I sat there and I was just like, every word he said, I was like, oh my God, like I've couldn't ask for something better than that. And I got out of there like totally convinced. And this is how I started my USANA journey. I always say that after my fiancé Denis, the second man I love the most in the world is Dr. Wentz. Because it truly changed my life. So I started my USANA business part-time with my full-time job. Although I didn't like my job anymore, I just felt like so energized because I knew I had found my good vehicle. So I was doing it part-time. I was on fire. I remember I was taking maybe half an hour for lunch. I would go in my car in the parking, call some friends. Any second I had, it was USANA. And 3 years later, I was able to leave that corporate job, which is awesome. And 1 year later, I was solid gold. And I got trapped in something. So this was cool. I was doing the same, about the same income as what I was doing at Costco. So I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm an entrepreneur. So I traveled for like 2 months. I met Denis. We bought a new house. Like everything was, I was like, this is cool. I'm an entrepreneur. And 1 year passed by, 2, 3, and for those who heard my story at convention, 9 years passed by. And I love to share that because I'm hoping that everybody that listens to this won't do the same mistake. Because now I know that the worst position to be in is when you lose your momentum. It's so much more work to get it back than maintaining it. And that's what I was trying to do year after year. I would write down my 3 goals of the year, and year after year, I wasn't achieving them. That's it. And I was stuck. And so that's 9 years later. And during that time, Denis, he has kind of the same background as me. And he went through a long burnout, like 1 year, like really sick. So during that year, I didn't feel like building my USANA business either. And when he got back to work, he was just going from position to position, trying to find, you're taking a picture. He was going from position to position, trying to find, his place in the corporate world. And it wasn't the best time of our lives at all. And one day I made that decision. People ask me all the time, what happened? I just like, I saw that the other day. I thought it was so powerful. I have to remember. It was the unsatisfaction that made me move. But after, it's the vision that pulled me. You see what I mean? But it started really with this big unsatisfaction. And so I made the decision. Denis was going to work, but I made the decision that if I was still going to do this business, failure wasn't an option. I couldn't lose my time. It's 9 years. That was way too much. So I was like, okay, let's do this. I committed myself, and I made the strong decision that I had to be successful. And in doing that, Denis saw the change, in my energy, in my focus. And he really started to be interested in the business, because in the past, although I was telling him, I'm going to retire you one day and everything, he wouldn't believe me. So when I started to be serious, and that's something I say a lot to a lot of associates, that they want their husband to do the business with them. And I'm just like, stop talking, do the business, and eventually he will want to follow you, because you'll be like attractive. He'll be like, oh my God, she's on top of things, and we can make this happen. So this is what happened basically. And 1 year later, after after that, 1 year later, I made it to, I was executive gold in, I don't remember the years. Okay, in June 2015, I was an executive gold. And when I started committing, 1 year later, I made it to executive ruby and growth 100. So that's amazing. So it was working. So I really caught Denis' attention. And I qualified for a trip to Costa Rica. And Denis was able to take a week off and come with me. So he took a week off from his crazy job. And this is the moment that changed his life around. He couldn't believe it. To meet other leaders, to see people like not just Natalie that he was seeing all the time, to see other people living from USANA, the conversation we made, the friends we made. It was amazing. We came back, we were so inspired, and our vision really got more clear. And we put our dream life on paper, and we committed that for 2 years, he would support me, keep his job, support me, I would work hard, and the goal was that he could join me full-time in the business. And after actually we made this vision before Costa Rica, because after Costa Rica, it was so strong, the vision, that maybe a few weeks later, he came back from work one night and he said, why are we waiting 2 years? What are we doing? Let's do this. We can do this now. I was like, you sure? He's like, yeah. So in December 2016, he decided to leave his corporate job. And of course, through hard work and teamwork, I have to be honest, the first year was quite an adjustment. I was used to do this business alone. Suddenly I had someone with me. So that's some challenges that are under the water, that you don't see. People are like, oh, they're so cute, they do the business together. Well, we had our moments, and I had to learn to really leave him his space, because he's a great leader and he really has a positive impact on the team. So I had to, he managed like huge team all his life of 175 people and all of that. So I gave him his space, and I think we found both our the space we don't go in the territory of the other one, and we have an amazing communication. That's so key. And people sometimes ask me, they're like, you're always together? We're like, yep. 24 hours a day, we do everything together. We just, that was the vision. This was my motor. This is why I got back in the business so seriously, because I wanted Denis to be with me 24 hours a day. That was the vision. So throughout hard work and commitment, the year after convention 2017, we walked across the stage as new Emerald directors and Grow 25. Yeah. So for Denis, it was his first convention coming to, it wasn't his first convention, but his first one full-time in USANA. So he had quite a big, walking on stage, Group 25, but he worked so hard. So from there, we were like, sky's the limit. We even name our dog Sky to remind us every day that sky's the limit. So we worked the following week. We clarified our vision even more. And we decided that every winter we want to leave the cold Canadian winters. It's like, and the trip in Costa Rica, to be honest, really planted that idea in our mind. And we talked about that all the time. But we were more like one day. But in 2018, when we went executive Emerald directors, we really made a plan, and we decided that that specific winter, we were going at least 1 month to Costa Rica. So we finished the executive, I think, on Friday, and we were leaving to Costa Rica on the following Tuesday. And we left 2 months. And basically what we did is that we moved our office to somewhere really, really cold, to somewhere like totally amazing. You have no idea. So we did Zoom meeting, I did Zoom presentation, sign up PCs, associate through social media. We really stayed connected to our team, but like I always say, instead of snowboarding in the afternoon, we were surfing, so which was way better. And after that, we came back 2 weeks to meet our team, do a big team meeting, and we left again another 2 months to Italy, Milan, Italy, because we had the dream to go build there. And now this is really what we love to do, is to travel. And we love doing, of course, trips with the True Health Foundation. We did our third one this year. We're doing another one in May 2020. We love to give, and we're so inspired by leaders in USANA that give, but at really another level, and that's what we want to do. We want to, like hit those leadership bonus and be able to give it back. And we're really driven by that. So we came back from Italy in April, and this is when we set up the goal to do, and I really insist on that, to do a team diamond run. So we made a big meeting with our team. We expressed our goal, and basically we asked who was in with us and who wanted to do a level change. And Denis is really a number person, so he planned everything with our leaders. So everything was, because I know you wanted me to talk a little bit about the diamond run, so I'm adding that little part. Everything was really planned, that let's say in one leg we have one leader, for example, that wanted to go gold. So she would sit down with our team, and they would, in the 4 weeks, okay, you're going to go believer, you're going to, everything was planned. So all the team, but when I talk all the team, I really talk about our French speaking team in Quebec, because the rest of our organization, most people know them, they're mostly in Toronto under Leanne Jacobs, which is one of the first associates that joined my organization. I'm so blessed. And so I'm really talking about the team in Quebec. And so everybody knew which week, which person was changing level. And we just created this crazy momentum. Everybody was on fire. And from I went and got the numbers from those 4 weeks of the diamond run. We got, in the French-speaking team in Quebec, we got 14 level changes. We got 24 new associates, but in the total organization, we got 57. And we got 104 new PCs in 4 weeks in Quebec, and 296 in the total organization. So it just created and everybody was so excited, and we celebrated. And this year we had 5 people in the top PC and roller in Quebec, 1 new gold. So I guess what I get on my heart the most from the diamond run, it's all about the team. It was really a diamond team run. And also to hit the Growth 25 again, a second time. For us, it was really a way to open the way. I don't know in the States, but the market here, we have a lot of diamonds director, and we have a lot of people that we see that should become diamonds really soon. There's so much potential in the leadership in Quebec. So we were, okay, if in 3 years we do Growth 25 twice, I think it's going to be a strong message that if you decide and you do your action, you have a strong vision, you make an action plan, and you go to work. And there's nothing fancy about this business. You just have to go to work and do the work yourself as a leader, not just wait for your team to do it, you know, like open the way and show up as much as your team is showing up. So how are we doing with time?
Perfect. Oh my gosh. I love this. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. I mean, everything from being dissatisfied with corporate to being successful in USANA and then being stuck in USANA, quote unquote. But I think you were germinating, I think, in that time as well, you know, growing as a person. But then there was that decision that you got so sick of it after 9 years. And by the way, I went through a 9-year period at Ruby, by the way. I don't know if we ever told you that. Yeah, so 9 years, and then you just kind of got sick of it, and you just made a decision, and boom, and then everything's grown. And of course, thank you for sharing the details of your diamond run. It's so exciting. It definitely pumps me up to hear about that specifically. But I know oh yeah, we're working on it. We're enjoying ourselves. It's going to be a joyous journey that we have. But I do want to open it up for questions for the last couple minutes. So if you have a question for Mrs. Natalie Dion, please type it in the comments. If you're on Facebook Live, type it in the chat and I will read it. We have our first question from Sue-Ann Knobloch in San Antonio. She says, I work the business also without my husband. What makes you feel a strong woman to set your own goals that later involved him?
Can you repeat? It's
yeah. She says, what makes you feel like a strong woman to set your own goals that later involved him?
Okay, I'm not sure I understand the sense. I don't know if you know, but my first language is French.
Oh, so how did you influence him to take USANA seriously?
Oh, okay. Like I said earlier, I stopped talking.
You stopped talking.
Yeah, and promising things. And I was telling him all the time, every year I would come back from convention, pump, and tell Denny, this is our vehicle. I'm going to retire you. And he wouldn't believe me anymore because I wasn't leading myself. The day he saw that I was leading myself, even when at times I was alone, I was leading myself to excellence every single day. He would see me wake up early, having appointments, doing my calls. He would come back from work. I would be, honey, sorry, tonight I have a presentation. I would go do a health and freedom, drive an hour. No guests would show up. I would come back home. He would ask me, so how did it go? Amazing, babe. We have tons of follow-ups to do. And I was just like super. I knew that if I would be consistent at that in my attitude, my posture, my action, eventually it would be like, whoa, what's going on with my wife, you know? And this is what happened. And the trip also really made it. The Costa Rica.
Wow. Yeah. But you couldn't have gotten to the trip had you not made all the action.
Exactly.
Right. Well, that's such a great piece of advice is you have to lead your own self. If you want to lead a team one day, you have to lead yourself first, and then your team will follow that. So very great advice. Thank you. All right. Our next question comes from Randy Krebs in Salt Lake City. He says, you talked about an action plan. Can you please share a couple of the specifics from this plan?
Mm-hmm. Well, in the action plan, there's first the actions for myself, which are present, follow up, and sign people.
Can you project a little bit into the computer?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So the action plan is really to do the basic actions every single day, which are invite, present, follow up, sign up people like PCs and associates, and mentor people to do the same. That's it. This is what I was focusing on every single day. And the rest, when I would catch myself to, you know, I don't know, be on the internet or read or being on the hub, and I would be, okay, what am I doing? Is this a revenue generating activity here? No, it's not. So stop that. So I like to do power. Darren Hardy teaches that, like power hour or power 30 minutes. I work better that way. So maybe I have a 30 minute in the morning, 30 minutes in the afternoon where I prospect and all of that. And a big part of the action plan also is to support my new associate to invite, present, follow up. So I do a lot of one-on-one coaching at the beginning. And anybody, even if they're a goal director, anybody that in my team that want to be accountable to someone, we have like worksheets that we send either to a teammates or to your upline with how many invites are going to do, all your names and everything. So it's like a worksheet, you know. So anybody that is really committed and wants to be accountable to me, I'll do a half-hour Zoom meeting with them every week, and we're going to look at the sheets. And just the fact that we started doing that, it changes a lot of things until the person, you know, is really, but even a leader, like, don't you like to have a coach, or don't you like to, you know, I like to be accountable to somebody. So it really made a lot of people click on, okay, I have to own this, and this is my action plan of the week, and I just don't write it, I commit to doing it. So it has to be simple, you know. It's up to you to decide how many invites you want to do every day, how many presentations, but commit to it is the biggest part, I guess.
Oh, I like that. I really like that. Could I see that sheet, or maybe get a copy of it and see how to use it?
Absolutely. I'll write a note.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. That would be amazing. Thank you for sharing a tool and something that's very valuable. And that's a great strategy that we can take with us. Well, I cannot believe that the half hour has already come to pass. It flew by like that. Just amazing. And so I want to end with my question. Final question is, what piece of advice do you have to close this call for everybody who's going to watch the recording or the people on live right now? How do you want to leave for everybody to take in their mind today?
There's so many things, but the main thing would be start with the end in mind. Don't create your future based on your current situation. I've been in situation when I was borderline depressed. My husband was doing a burnout. All he could do is watch TV. I've been in situations like that if I would have created my future from that, I don't know where I would be today. So it's really having, like you said, the mental toughness, like put yourself in the future. This is your destination. And just like focus on it, and, you know, cut yourself from any other option, and don't let any people, any situation distract you from your final goal. And that takes mental toughness. But if you can do that, oh my God, sky's the limit. For sure.
Awesome.
Yeah. Hope that.
Wow, I love that. That's great advice. We haven't heard that one at the end of calls before. That was awesome. So start with the end in mind, and thank you for sharing some of those harder moments as well that you had to go through, because we all go through them, and people might think, oh, it's Natalie, she's never had to go through that. Probably you went through that 10 times over, you know. So thank you for sharing that, Natalie. This has been a pleasure hearing your story. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for being an inspiration to me and everyone in USANA. And let's go ahead and end the call by saying thank you, Natalie, and have an awesome day.
Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you, Natalie. Have an awesome day.
Thank you, Natalie. I'll call you. I'm going to call you.